Russian Deputy Prime Minister said that almost all oil exports were sent to India or China this year. When Moscow sanctions on Moscow, India is a much larger growth market. The portfolio, which contains control country's energy sector, said that Moscow successfully jumped Ukraine in midst occupation Ukraine by directing effects Western sanctions to two Asian giant. He said that this process started before February 2022 and shortly followed the sanctions. But the US and EU restrictions serve as a catalyst for this. As for these restrictions and embargoes introduced to Europe and the United States, this only accelerated the process of redirecting our energy flows, said. Russian oil exports to the EU members' share of 4 or 5 said. When it was composed, Russian oil is rich in resources. Exports to us was always very limited. Although not all Russian oil exports to EU members have stopped since the occupation of Ukraine. India is growing faster so far. Novak said China's share in Russian exports grew around 4550. However, Assistant Prime Minister said that India is the fastest growing Russian sales from two markets. Previously, there was no consumables of India before. In 2 years, the total share of consumables to India has reached 40, said. The Guwahati refinery operated by Indian Oil Corporation found Russia pictures among new buyers. Biju Boro AFP India was able to purchase, refined and sell Russian crude oil that is sometimes exported to a discount. This is possible in part because refineries usually use raw from various sources, which makes it difficult to define the original product from the original or impossible. Josep Borrell, EU's best foreign policy official, told that bloc was aware of problem reported earlier this year and that he was looking for ways to stop or limit application. Borrell, this March, India's normal to buy Russian oil, and thanks our limitations on oil price, India is much cheaper. Russia's less money, better. He said, if they use it to be a center where the byproducts are sold us, we must move. Revenues similar to 2021, say Novak. Before invading, he said he expects a oil price similar to existing levels in 2024. And expects about 8,085 per barrel. Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Novak's portfolio included political responsibility for the energy sector of Russia. Sergei Pyatako-Vatar Tasijigo, the minister, estimated that Russian oil and gas export revenues would be a total of 9 trillion rubles for year before occupation of Ukraine and year before subsequent sanctions. According to Novak, the oil and gas industry constitutes approximately 27% of Russia's GDP and approximately 57% of export revenues. There are many people who want to buy Russian oil. Plenty of oil from Russia. Sanctions ineffective. MSHRC